It's your boy Infinite XP back with another review. This one being the Metal Gear Solid Delta review. Just a quick thing, I don't know if I'll actually put up any gameplay. It'll probably be over one of the trailers or just random gameplay. With how everything has been, I think most likely it's going to be just over some random gameplay. But yeah, so let's start off with the introduction. Let's jump right in. Hopefully I'm finally back. I know that prior to this, all I had was a Mario Kart World review, and before that, it has been a little bit. I did mention in the review, even though I did cut it out, edit it out, I was sick with something. I don't know if I had a COVID or whatever it was, but it knocked me out pretty good. So I should be back. I think I'm done. And I just want to apologize for the gap in videos, but I am back now. So with that being said, here's my review of Metal Gear Solid Delta. So let's get into whether it's worth your money and time. Alright, so for a little bit of my background with the series, as I do with most reviews, my history with the Metal Gear Solid series is a little out of order actually. I started with Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero and then The Phantom Pain before touching any of the older MGS games. At some point later on, I actually went back and played I thought it was the HD collection, but I actually looked it up and it was the Legacy collection on the PlayStation 3. I did play through. I didn't really take my time, but I did play through Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, and I did dabble a little bit into Peace Walker. I never did play the Metal Gear Solid 1 of the Legacy collection because I don't know. For me personally, I've really always wanted to play the OG original version. So I don't know. I mean, probably with an emulator I could do that, but whatevs. With all this being said and done, playing the older games after the newer ones was very eye-opening. They were a lot tougher and way less forgiving than what Ground Zeroes or even Phantom Pain was. So being able to revisit Metal Gear Solid 3 years later with modern visuals definitely made Delta a treat for me. This review, like I said earlier, is going to be a lot shorter than my Mario Kart 1, hopefully. So let's dive right in. Alright, so my initial thoughts. At first, if I'm being honest, I wasn't really hyped for this game. I was on the fence until Konami started showing off more gameplay once it got closer to the release of Metal Gear Solid Delta. Once I saw more of that in action, I started getting more and more curious to the point where I ended up obviously picking it up. I also wanted to take my time. Obviously, like I said, when I played the Legacy Collection all the way those years back, I pretty much just ran right through the game. 2 and 3, and even when I dabbled Peace Walker, I didn't really take my time or truly learn the controls. But so with that being said, I wouldn't take my time on this run. I was hesitant at first, but once I saw more footage and Konami ramping up the marketing, I decided to give in and give the game a shot. So, what's new? This is a fun one. Not much. This is literally, or I guess you could say basically, Metal Gear Solid 3 with updated graphics, textures, and models. From what I remember reading, I can't remember if it was on Reddit or Twitter, I heard or read the actors did record new lines, but beyond that, I believe it is the exact same game. With that being said, some fans wanted, from what I've read, fresh content or new content, while others are very happy the way Konami played it with this game. Very safe. Very, very safe, actually. For me, personally, I think it's fine. They didn't obviously try to reinvent the wheel here with MGS3. Just polish what was already there. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing really depends on what you want from a remake. So that's ultimately it's what's up to you guys. Next off, gameplay. Gameplay wise, again, this is going to be a really short one. It is identical to the original MGS3. If you played it back then, you are going to feel right at home. If your only experience with Metal Gear is Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain, like mine, expect a little bit of shock. This game does not hold your hand. It's more of, obviously, like I said, it's an old school MGS game. It is slower, it is more methodical. I just got it. And way less forgiving. So, yeah, there we are with that one. There isn't really much to add. If you play the older games, you are going to love this one. If you only played the newer ones, it's definitely going to be a shock to you. It's the same, obviously, thing, because obviously Phantom Pain and the Ground Zeroes evolved the formula, but yeah. Next stop, graphics. The visuals are definitely the highlight here. Obviously, the updated character models looked fantastic. Naked Snake in particular, since you obviously play as him. And the rest, obviously, the boss, or the original Big Boss, looked amazing. Her entourage, the fear, the end. I can't try to think of the other ones. They all looked gorgeous. The environments of the game feel very lush and detailed, and even the animals that you can eat look sharp. Are the graphics groundbreaking? No, but it is a clean polish and a big step up, obviously, from the PS2 era. So right now we're actually in the final thoughts. As I said, this review is going to be really short compared to the Mario Kart World one. So, like I said, final stop. It's my final thoughts. Is it worth it? So I'll start off with, I guess, just being upfront. Is it worth buying? For me, yes, with a few caveats. The game right now, as I'm looking on Steam, is at a price point of $69.99 or $70. In my opinion, I think it is a little steep for what, like I said, it's a little steep for what is basically the same game with better visuals. Honestly, for me personally, I think 60 feels a much more of a fairer price. The deluxe edition is priced at $80 or $79.99. Is even harder to justify since it only adds a few cosmetic outfits and face paints. I did buy the deluxe edition, but if I'm being honest, at least for me, I barely touched the extra content, so it's definitely not essential for what's there. That said, I did enjoy my playthrough, or as of now, playthroughs, and I honestly don't regret buying it. Although, weirdly enough, I do somewhat regret spending the $80 on it, but as an MGS fan, I'm not that upset with it, so I guess with that, do what you will, or take that as you will. Let's see, on PC, for me, it ran smoothly for me, again. From a couple stutters I did have to deal with. It wasn't bad, it wasn't game breaking, it wasn't anything where I had to stop the game and pray to God that they update the game. I do know for some console players they had frame rate issues and also stutters. And from what I've also heard, the console players have had it worse than PC, but yeah. Not saying that's a good thing, but yeah, I'm not gonna delve all into that. If you know, you know, whatever. Konami absolutely played it safe with this remake, as I said earlier, but the end result, it's still an awesome game. If you love the original MGS3, you are going to love this game. I guess in other words, if you're a longtime fan, you will probably love it, regardless of the price. If you're new and want to see let's back up. If you're new and want to see where the series really started to evolve, it's worth checking out. But just know you're getting a faithful, almost one-on-one remake of MGS3. All in all, Metal Gear Solid Delta remind me why I love this series. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, it doesn't reinvent anything really, but it does bring MGS3 to a modern audience in a way that feels respectful. They actually even credited, as I was saying, I think they do it in the beginning and end, but they do actually credit Hideo Kojima, so honestly, like I said, they do pay respects to him, so that's all in all. I think that is a great thing, whether you like the idea of them paying respects to him through credits or would rather seen them do something else. That's on you. I think what they did was, pretty good considering the amount of time that's gone by with how everything ended for Konami and Kojima. I'm just honestly glad and happy Metal Gear Solid is back. I honestly do hope this means we'll get to see more remakes of the series, and if it continues to go on and do as well as from what I've been seeing, I honestly hope that we actually get to see new entries down the line. That's my review. I hope you all enjoy it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. Tell me, what are your thoughts on Metal Gear Solid Delta? Do you guys enjoy the game, or are you guys not liking it? Have you played it? Have you not? Whatevs. Let me know. Let's get something going here. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you guys didn't make it this far, thank y'all. I truly, it means a lot to me that people will actually take time to watch my videos, but I will hopefully see you in the next video, which should be Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that one's gonna work a little differently how I'm doing it, but yeah, hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, again, leave a like and subscribe. I love y'all. Hope to see y'all return on the next video. I also probably start doing some spooky games since we are starting to get into the fall season. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna stop annoying y'all. Love y'all once again. Bye.